A lot of people outside. There's not a lot of spaces left. Is the sound reaching them? Can they hear this outside? Such a pity that some of them cannot hear Luangpa's talk. Now the Buddhist religion is cleaner. That there are someone that they have. They left the monkhood because they misbehave. Quite a number of them. They make mistakes. Defilement would not let us leave this cycle of rebirth easily. The Lord Buddha already gave us instruction of how to escape this cycle of rebirth, but many do not follow. It is risky for monks to mingle with females. It's too risky. Now, only not limited to females. There are news about the monks having sex between themselves, or having sex with men, having sex with women. They are defeated by the defilement. This started from the ordination, because they didn't ordain, because they had faith that they want to be free from suffering, that they want to attain enlightenment. If they had that, their mind would be courageous that they will try their best to follow the teaching. Some will survive, some will not survive. That is the nature of it all. But these days, some ordain because of the tradition. That is not too bad. But those who ordain because they think that being monks is a job, and a job means that they have to seek out salary, money. That is dangerous. This is why the Lord Buddha laid down the rules to control the way the monk lives. Like the monks, that's why the monks are refrained from mingle with women or talking to women inappropriately. There are times limit for monks to talk to the lay people, and after a certain time they have to preserve themselves. If it's necessary, the monk can talk to the lay people with sati and samadhi. Those in the news, some ordained since when they were very young. They are innocent to the world, and they do not understand the world, so they are easily tricked. But if they follow the Buddha's rule, they will be safe. Another rule that the Buddha laid down the rule is about money. The monk cannot take money. If you want to offer money to the monk, you should offer to the person who are giving the duty to be in charge of the money of the temple. Like this temple, the monk will not hold on to the money. Only the assigned person will look after the money of the temple. If the monk wanna get something, they have to tell that person in charge. But the person in charge in some temples they're not good people. Sometimes they cheated the money out of the temple. There's a rule that the monks can ask the money back, but there's a limit of times that the monks can ask for the money back. I think Luang Por thinks about 3 to 4 times. If there's more than 3 to 4 times, then the monk would break the precepts. See, there are many rules, many precepts that the Buddha laid down to prevent the monk from, for the monk, keep the monks from keeping the money. Since Luang Por ordained long time ago, now Luang Por does not recognize what the banknotes look like because he hasn't seen one for a long time. He does not pay attention to that. A few days ago, Luang Por gave a Dhamma talk at the Department of the Police, Thai Police, and they make an offering to Luang Por, money offering. But the person in charge didn't travel with Luang Por to the Department of Police. Luang Por accepted the envelope, but after Luang Por returned, Luang Por gave all the money, all the offering to the person in charge. So actually the rules are there. They are strict about the money, about the woman. So the Lord Buddha already wrote down the rule for the monks to follow. Those who practice need to have sati from the full foundation of mindfulness. It's not about learning. To have sati, one should know so what is appropriate, what is inappropriate. Those who learn a lot from text and never practice, they don't have anything to protect their mind. That's why they can be easily tricked by some woman. There's no way that a woman can trick Luang Por. Have you ever feel that it is hard to reach to Luang Por? Luang Por never be anywhere by himself. There are always people surrounded him. And after Luang Por give a Dhamma talk, you don't see Luang Por anymore. Luang Por would return to his hut. So if you keep the precepts, the rule, you will be safe. In the past, there were some people who tried to destroy Luang Por because and have reported Luang Por to many places, many divisions. To the police, report Luang Por to the police. And they all came to check on Luang Por. Luang Por was not afraid. Luang Por beat lies with truth. And Luang Por beat that. Luang Por didn't have any wound to be exposed. So his mind was courageous. Luang Por had precepts to protect him. He didn't feel scared or afraid. So the monks who do not apply this rule to themselves, they make a big mistake, especially those who ordain when they are young and too innocent to the world. Then they can be easily tricked. Like in the past, some aesthetic, they are inherit being aesthetic from the father. The father is ecstatic then the children become an ecstatic too. The father warned the child that be careful if you one day if you meet the animal with the horn at the chest, 2 horns at the chest, be aware of them. And then one day this young aesthetic, he practiced a lot, and then from this practice somehow it refrained the rain from falling down. The king found out about this, so he wanna break the aesthetic by sending his daughters to ecstatic. And one day that the ecstatic is used to the female hanging around with them, and then one day the female said that my chest hurt, please take a look at them. And then after the female show the ecstatic their breast, his practice deteriorate and the rain start to fall. Right now, the Sangha is not the Sangha, sorry, the monk are weakening. So the lay people, we have to be strong. When you see a monk that makes mistake and we scold them and we say that we're not gonna make them offering anymore, we're not gonna believe them anymore, that's hurting Buddhism even more. Develop yourself, learn about Dhamma and try to understand Dhamma. Many of the monks, they ordain for a long time and they do not understand the world. We have to help them. Like this morning, Luangpu sat in front of the hall and Luangpu looked at the people who came to the temple. Many who came, you look peaceful. You have sati, you have samadhi because you practiced. You learn about your body and your mind. When you have sati, the defilement cannot break through out. So the more you practice, the more you are more pure. Everywhere Luangpu looked, it is peaceful. If you practice well, everywhere that you go it will be peaceful. So we have to help keeping Buddhism. If there's nothing else that we can do, we should learn about Dhamma. This day we can see that even the monks who study the text to the highest level, they are defeated by the defilement. So we have to practice and help the Buddhism. These days, Luangpu ask us to do at least 3 hours of walking meditation daily. If you cannot do 3 hours straight, you can divide the 3 hours into different parts. Like you can start from in the morning, you can walk just for an hour, and then throughout the day, a little bit by a little bit. And then at night, do the walking meditation for 1 hour to 1.5 hours. Those who do that, they have progress, have gained much progress, and they realize that themselves because they understand now how to practice. They understand how to do the walking meditation. They walk knowing the body and the mind. They see the body walking. When the mind stray, they know so. When the mind overfocused on the body, they know so. That is how to practice walking meditation. Just walk with awareness. Yesterday, Luang Por saw many people who came to the temple who learned with Luang Por for 20 years. And Luang Por started to give up on them because they haven't progressed, because Luang Por met them many times and they haven't progressed. And they met them on Friday. Luang Por met them on Friday. And Luang Por saw their progress. And Luang Por asked, what did you do? Did you walk for 3 hours? And they said, yes, we have walked for 3 hours. Walk with awareness. And then know so when the body walk, and know so of the changes of the mind. When the mind stray, they know so. When the mind overfocus on the body, they know so. When they see the mind works, they observe that. They have practiced like this for a month, and the mind change. The mind progress, make a progress. And the mind that is a stable observer arise. Many people ask, what is the mind that is a stable observer? If you practice, you will know so. By practicing and knowing of the body and the mind regularly, then the mind will become a stable observer. Those who have the mind that is a stable observer, they will attain samadhi without trying. And then happiness, peacefulness will arise on its own. And then they will also see that the aggregates separate. Luang Por asked those lay people, and they said, yes, they saw that. They saw that the mind, the body is one thing. The feeling is one thing. The perception and interpretation is one thing. The mental formation is one thing. How can they see them separated? It's because they have practiced. You cannot intentionally try to separate the aggregates. Some try that they thought that by separating their consciousness away from the body is separating aggregates. Luang Por didn't ask them to do that. It's actually not that hard to do, to separate your consciousness away from the body. But that is not separating the 5 aggregates. So how to separate the 5 aggregates? To separate the 5 aggregates is not difficult. If you have the right samadhi, right sati, then the 5 aggregates will separate on its own. For example, right now that you are listening to Luang Por's talk, you can feel that the body and the mind are not us, and they are not the same thing. The body and the mind, they are 2 separate things. When the feeling arises, the feeling is not us. It's just something that arises and tainted the mind. The mental formation is also not us. It is just something that arises and come in, and then it would fall. That it rises and it falls. To cultivate wisdom, it started from after your aggregates are separate. To separate your consciousness from the body, that is not cultivating wisdom. Luangpa was able to do that since he was little, since he was young. He traveled to many planes, and he couldn't tell if the thing that he saw was real or not. So if you do that and you see many things, don't believe in what you saw, because you cannot prove that what you see is real. The defilement may arise more if you practice like that. Sometimes you not really travel to different planes, but it's just defilement leading you to see things that are not there. So you cannot tell what is real, what is not. But if you practice like the Lord Buddha teaches, that if you have the mind that is a stable observer, the mind is here, and you see that the body and the mind are two separate things. The feelings, the mental formations are not the mind. That is separating the aggregates. This is separating the physical form from the mental form. If you can see that they are separate things, then you can cultivate wisdom. When you cultivate wisdom, you will see that in each aggregate, they fall under the three characteristics. If you think, you're thinking that this body fall under the three characteristics, you cannot defeat the defilement. You may suppress the defilement temporarily, like the craving temporarily, but you're not really letting go of the defilement. Like if you suppress it, what if you reach something that is indulging the pleasurable, you may indulge it again. So let's practice for at least 3 hours every day. This is setting a goal. Some cannot reach that. It's okay. Try. Set the goal to do it 3 hours every day. If you don't practice enough, your mind will not have enough strength. You will not have enough sati, samadhi. The mind is not a stable observer. Why the mind does not have enough strength and the mind is not a stable observer? Because you don't practice enough. Many prefer to just offer or practice just a little bit just to show that, oh, I already practiced. Some do it just to prevent themselves. It is called practice to prevent yourself before death. Like, for example, when you got on a plane and you're scared, you start to chant. But you do not chant before that. So to chant on the plane, that will not do. So if anyone who practice every day, everybody say, Luangpa Anumotana with them. If you're lazy, Luangpa does not Anumotana with you. But for those who practice diligently, practice every day for 3 hours, Luangpa Anumotana with them. Luangpa understand that some cannot do 3 hours straight. One of the cook at the temple, now she's able to do 3 hours straight every day. But to do the walking meditation, you have to practice correctly by knowing so of the body as the body walks. When the mind strays from the body, know so. When the mind over-focus on the body, know so. If you practiced with the mind that is agitated, that you wonder, oh, when is it going to be an hour? that will not do. Or if you practice the walking meditation with the mind that is busy, that will not do either. Like for example, if you have your mobile phone nearby, and every time when you walk, you take a look at your mobile phone, that will not do either. So you have to be persevere. This is hard. It's hard at the beginning, but you will enjoy the result. Nothing will give us happiness as much as Dhamma. But before we reach that point, you have to endure. You have to be persevere. Every day, set your mind to keep the precepts. Every day, set your mind that you will do the formal practice. You can sit or you can walk. At least set your goal to 3 hours every day. If you can walk, you should walk, because from walking meditation, samadhi is strong. Samadhi that arises from walking meditation is stronger than sitting meditation. But for Luang Po, for himself, Luang Po said that for him, sitting is more difficult to practice than walking. Because many, as I said, the mind would become dull or drowsy. Either that or they become over-focused. But it's actually not that important if you walk or you sit or even you laying down. But the beginning, we should start by walking. If you do the walking meditation for 3 hours every day, it doesn't have to be 3 hours straight. Or you can walk for 45 minutes and sit for 15 minutes at a time and do it 3 times. Don't give up, and then your mind will gain strength. And then you don't have to ask Luang Po, what is the mind that is with strength? And you don't even have to ask Luang Po, what is a stable observer? If you're skilled at the practice, you can have the mind that is a stable observer in every posture that you do. Sit, walk, standing, laying down. You will be aware of all the things that you do. And the mind can also see the 3 characteristics all the time. Luang Po heard from the Master's teaching and also reading from the text that some are enlightened, attain enlightenment as they walk. Some attain their enlightenment as they are laying down. Some are enlightened when they listen to the Dhamma talk, to the sermon. Some attain enlightenment as they contemplate the Dhamma. Some enlighten as they are giving a sermon. So see, you can enlighten. One can enlighten anytime. Luang Po understand that to do the formal practice for a long time and to observe the body and the mind can feel boring. It's like you're reading the same page of the book over and over again. So you may think that I already know the body, I already know the mind, but actually that is not enough. To know so of the body, it is easy. The mind can escape very easily very fast. So it is harder to observe, but the body is always here. It doesn't change too quickly. Like right now, you may think of the president of the United States that they are raising Thailand's tariff, and you worry about that. Some of you listening to this and your mind smile. So read your mind. That is best. If you cannot read your mind, then the soul of your body. Keep practicing, and then you'll be better and better. This morning, there was a girl. Actually, she's not that young, but Luang Por always think of her as a girl, as a young girl. She submitted homework. She saw that her mind is bound by a boundary. That was very good. That she saw like a mind has a boundary, has a shell, and the mind struggle inside. This girl learned from the nun, from Meshi Aranut. And she saw that the mind suffer. And Luang Por replied to her that that's what Luang Por saw before too. That Luang Por saw similar thing. It's like the mind is bound by inside the capsule, and it struggle a lot. And Luang Por did not understand what make of this capsule, but this capsule is very thick, very tough to break. So the mind try to break. It's like you are in a cage, in the prison that you try to escape, but you cannot escape. So the mind suffer. Luang Por asked the girl, "Do you see that the mind suffer?" And she says, "Yes, she saw that the mind suffer." And she also asked, "How can the mind be free from this suffering? How can it break through this shell?" Luang Por tells this girl to practice. The first time when this shell is broken, is break apart, it can be broken apart by the enlightenment. The first enlightenment, the mind would break through the shell, break through the capsule. When the first enlightenment would, that moment, this wisdom would break the capsule, and then the mind will be brightened. It's like the light shining at the mind. There is the insight. We gain this understanding. There is an insight that understand and see the phenomena that the mind has changed. There is a wisdom to see the three characteristics. There is the right view and see the noble truth. And there will be the light of wisdom. This light of wisdom would spread out everywhere. The angelic being would see that light and they would anumotana. The lower angelic being will also praise this phenomena, and their sound will be loud until all the celestial beings hear this. When the Buddha enlightened, all the celestial beings acknowledged this. That moment was very impactful. Even the hell was shined by the light of the enlightenment of the Lord Buddha. All the celestial beings, they are anumotana. When one enlightened, but don't worry if one is enlightened or not, it's their thing. It's not our thing. Our thing is to practice. There is a story about Venerable Luangpu Chop who stayed with Luangpu Man. Venerable Luangpu Chop, he has this special ability to gain visions. And he attained great samadhi. And then one day he was sitting in the meditation and he heard a loud sound. And then his mind withdrew from the samadhi and he searched what happened, where the sound or explosion came from. He couldn't see the source. And then in the morning, he asked Venerable Luangpu Man. Luangpu Man said that last night, Luangpu Man became an Arahant, and all angel beings, they praised Luangpu Man so loud that Luangpu Chop thought that it was the sound of a loud explosion. So if you practice, the shell, the capsule that is holding your mind captive would break. And when this capsule is break, the light of wisdom would shine. And after that, the mind will be peaceful and happy. Some call that the mind is smiling. Some would say that the mind smiles. The mind smiles to the defilement that the defilement cannot tame the mind anymore. After the mind smile, then the capsule will come back together and hold on to the mind again, hold the mind captive again. So that is the first enlightenment. Luang Pa asked Luang Pu Dun before, how many times that you have to break this capsule for the mind to be completely free? Luang Pu Dun said 4 times. So when the mind finally breaks free from the capsule or from the shell that hold the mind captive, then the mind would spread out everywhere. There's no more place for the mind to stay. The mind is everywhere. It is peaceful. It is full of happiness. So if you keep practicing, you will experience Dhamma before you can attain Nibbana. If you have Dhamma from the moment that you have sati, you have samadhi, happiness would arise. The defilement, when it taints our mind, the mind suffers. When the defilement cannot taint our mind, then the mind will be happy. But it's not permanent yet. But when you keep practicing, when you experience the correct samadhi or correct sati, happiness will arise. This type of happiness is very defined. And you can experience throughout your body, throughout all your cells, that you feel peaceful, you feel that it is cooling. Every time the mind cultivates wisdom, happiness also arises. This type of happiness is very refined. It is like that you are becoming an adult. Like you have done hard work and now you're enjoying the result. For Arahant, their happiness is like there's no more work that they need to do. They just wait to receive their bonus at the end, which is Nibbana. When all the aggregates break, that is full of happiness. Today is Asana Puja Day. It was the first time the Lord Buddha gave a sermon to the 5 ascetics. In his teaching, in his sermon, he said that to let the mind lost in pleasure or to do the self-mortification, those are not the right path. When you let the mind indulge pleasure, you let the mind wander to the eyes, the ears, nose, tongue, and to the thoughts. At that time, it is too loose of the practice. And when you strain yourself, you control your body and your mind. That is self-mortification. That is making your body and your mind suffer. When Luang Po first ordained, Luang Po taught this, not to let the mind get lost and not to overfocus. Some even laugh at Luang Po's teaching. What kind of teaching is this? Some said. Why not teach about the breathing in, say breathing out, say toe? What is this? Not letting the mind get lost and not overfocusing. They didn't understand Luang Po's teaching at first. If to walk in the middle path is to know so when the mind strays and when the mind is overfocused. When you walk in the middle path, you will see the body as it is. You will see the body walk, the body sit. You will see the suffering that arises in the body and in the mind. You will see that all the feeling arise and fall. The wholesomeness and unwholesomeness, they also arise and fall. You will see things in more, as you practice, you will see the phenomenon more and more refined of the phenomena. So at first you can start with something that is more coarse, which is observing the body. And as you observe the body, you may see the phenomena is more refined, which is the mind. So if you see that how the body feels, you will see how the mind feels. You will see that we want to be free from suffering and we want to retain happiness. You will see the mental formation of the anger, of the greed. And then you will see that all this mental formation, they are not the mind. And then you will see the consciousness. That is the hardest thing to observe, this aggregate. So let's start from what you can see. You can start from the body. So you see the physical form, and after you observe the physical form, you will be able to see the mental formation as well. For example, as you observe the body, as the nice wind flow to the body, and you feel cool, and the mind is happy, then now you can see that happiness arises as you feel the wind blow to your body. As you observe this, you will see also all the defilement arise and fall. The busy mind arise and then the busy mind fall. The mind that wander off, it rise and also fall. All the feeling arise and fall, arise and fall. As you see more and more of this, your sati is strengthened, and you will see that the wholesomeness and unwholesomeness, they are not the mind. They arise and fall. The mind is just the mind. It is free from wholesomeness and unwholesomeness. And then you will also see that even the mind arise and fall. The noble mind arise and fall. The noble mind arise and fall. And then the mind that is wander off, arise and fall. The mind wander to here, arise and fall. And then the noble mind arise and fall. So you will see that the mind rise and fall throughout different aggregates, different sensation contact, the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, the body, and the mind. So not just only the feelings that arise and fall, the mind also arise and falls. And then the more and more you observe this, all the 5 aggregates, they fall under the 3 characteristics that they are impermanent. They are not us. They are non-self, not us. So they are suffering. If you can see this, one can attain Dhamma and become a Sodabana or the stream enterer. To see that these 5 aggregates are suffering. Right now, what you see now, that it's not that the 5 aggregates are suffering, but you feel that these 5 aggregates sometimes happy, sometimes suffer. That your body sometimes is happy, sometimes it suffers. The mind sometimes is happy, sometimes the mind suffers. But you practice more and more, you will see that this body and this mind, there's nothing but suffering. Sometimes it suffer a lot, sometimes it suffer less. When it suffer less, we thought this is happiness. So you keep practicing, you will see that sometimes the mind is, you thought that sometimes the mind is happy, sometimes the mind suffer. But if you keep practicing, you will see that there's nothing but suffering here. Sometimes it suffer a lot, sometimes it suffer less. When it suffer less, you think that, oh, now the mind is happy. This is the wrong view. The wrong view is that we thought that the thing that suffer bring us happiness. If you keep practicing, you will also see that all the mind arise and falls. And if you keep practicing, your mind will be more refined. If you see the phenomena, more and more phenomena. And you will also see that the mind cannot stay still. It tends to get lost through the eyes, ears, nose, tongue. It is suffering, it is exhausted, that it is running around all the time. And you will see that there's nothing substantial about this mind because the mind is full of suffering. And after you truly see this, you can let go of the mind. Those who practice for the mind to stay with the object of meditation for a long time and think that this is happiness, they can be stuck here for a long time. So you cannot rely on that. Even until you practice, until at first you made the mind stay with the object of meditation, and to the point that the object of meditation disappear and there's nothing, there's no more physical form, just the mind. There was a monk who practiced and he practiced and the Mara still bothered him, and they had a vision of Venerable Somdetto. Venerable Somdetto said to that monk to use mantra Metta Kunang Arahan Metta. He cultivated Metta or loving and kindness, and then the world disappeared. There's no more body. There's only the mind left. So the Mara cannot play trick on them because there's no more body for the Mara to see. There was so much happiness at that staying in that state. But if you are wise, even in that state, this state can arise and fall. And in that state, even it feels that it's full of happiness, it's very refined. It is also impermanent. It is also still suffering. And it is also non-self. Even this type of mind that it feels that it is full of happiness, it is still contained, it is still suffering. It's so much suffering that it feels like you are being crushed by the mountain. If you practice until you attain equanimity with this type of state, then one can attain Dhamma. With that monk, after he attained equanimity and he see this, and then one day the mind is completely free. When one wants to attain happiness, Arahant can go back to that place of peace to regain the strength. When Arahant sees something, like for lay people, when we see something, the mind goes toward that thing that we see. When we think of something, the mind goes toward our thoughts. Every time the mind goes toward those objects, the mind suffers. But for Arahant, the mind see, but the mind would not attach to the thing that Arahant see. So there's no more birth for Arahant because the mind refused to get attached to anything. So this is the path. And this path is still here for us to learn. Luangpu is teaching all of us this path. It's like Luangpu is providing everyone's a map. Now that you have a map, you have to start walking. It's like if you have the Dhamma teaching, if you never practice, it's like you never start walking. So you will never reach the destination. If you do stray away from the route, if you don't understand the path, you may stray away from the you may be away from the destination. So understand the path, know the path, and then start walking. Start by having sati all the time, being aware all the time. When you take a shower, when you go to the toilet, have sati. Someday that your mind is weak and you don't have any strength, don't worry about it. That happens. That is the nature of the mind. Because the Buddha said that the mind is impermanent. So even the mind that is good, the mind that is powerful, it is also impermanent. Most people would hold on to the mind that with sati, with samadhi, and they don't want to lose that. But the mind deteriorates. That is the nature of all things. So when the monks see that, when they see that, then the mind regains strength on its own. So sometimes when you don't have the mind does not have enough strength, don't worry. Observe your body, the soul of the body. Practice without greed, without trying, wanting your mind to be good. So no soul of the body. Like for example, you move your fingers and you might wonder if you don't know, so that is not the right way to practice. Today there's no homework reviewing. So Luangpu is reserving his strength for the weekend homework revision. Luangpu see people who came to the temple. Those people, they all practice. That is beautiful. It's like looking at the beautiful flowers. It's more beautiful than the feel of the garden of beautiful flowers. When Luangpu see people practice. When Luangpu passed by the beautiful flower gardens, and then when he take a look, and some flower is not beautiful, but when Luangpu see people practice, he sees that this is more beautiful than the flower garden. Don't worry about the people who are not behaving. It's not about us. Worry about ourselves. Practice. The good people will praise you. Not the bad people might not praise you, but that's not, you don't have to care about that. The mind is happy. Can you see that? Your mind is wholesome. Let's share this wholesomeness to other beings. That's enough. If you notice that you might not know how to share the merit, how to share with other beings, you don't have to push the merit to others. Use the ordinary mind. Just think, for example, that you want to share the merit with your parents who already passed away. Just think of that face, think of them, and think that you want to share the merit with them. Some push the merit to, and then at first you pushing the merit, and then later you are more relaxed in sharing the merit. Use the ordinary mind when you share the merit. That is the best to share. If you want to share to a specific person or being, you can think that, please let this person share the merit I am doing. If that person still leave, you should tell that person that you are sharing the merit. Some of the ghosts, hungry ghosts, they are in a higher realm, that they live comfortably than us. Then another type of sharing the merit is that you are sending the merit everywhere. Like that, the mind can enter the deeper meditation or jhana. The mind is light and bright. You can have this as the resting place for the mind. Today, for those people who come to the temple, that you are making offering to the monks, or someone step on your feet, you forgive them. That is also making offering. Or if you in cafeteria, somebody took the food that you wanted, forgive them. Even if you scold them, there's no merit in that someone took the food that you wanted. Your mind is with merit when you share. And you also keeping the precepts. When you uphold the precept, then you can practice. And you are practicing and listening to the Dhamma. So we are making a lot of merit today. Develop ourselves more and more. That is all the Dhamma talk for today. If anyone want to stay here to the evening, then you may stay. But Luang Por will not guarantee if it will rain later in this evening. อนุโมทนาค่ะ